I got a question for you. What does it mean when a judge in a major showdown between the Justice Department and AT&T says, hold on, we need to take a long lunch? Today has been marred by delays in several sidebar discussions at Judge Richard Leon's bench, where AT&T is battling it out with the government. Today was supposed to focus on testimony from these two gentlemen, Sling TV exec Warren Schlichting and Turner Broadcasting CEO John Martin. Not clear when it will happen. Charlie, what is going on? I saw Connell about an hour ago saying, whoa, they just out of the blue said, take a long lunch.
Yeah, and they said, the Judge Leon said, we need to sort out what happened. Now, there's a lot of speculation that maybe it's some leaked testimony, or, we reported on Friday what the government planned to do in terms of taking the testimony of Mr. Martin, John Martin, which would be the first hostile witness in the case. He's the CEO of Turner. And what we had from our sources close to the Justice Department is that they were going to essentially grill him on past statements he said about Turner. Remember, Turner is a subsidiary of Time Warner. It holds many of the key properties. And Martin has made some interesting comments about the, how basically if you don't have those products, how if you're a distribution network without those products, you're really not a great distribution network. And the comments were made in the context of pricing, at least according to the government. So they were going to try to hold him accountable for those past comments to show, listen, their main case is, listen, if AT&T has this great content from Turner, from Time Warner, they're going to squeeze rival distributors. That gives them enormous pricing pressure as a monopoly, and therefore this merger should not go through. So that's what we reported on Friday. I talked to some of my sources close to the government today. That was still their plan. Maybe he's miffed about that, or maybe he's miffed about something we have no idea about. But in any event, the two scheduled witnesses were supposed to be the hostile witness, Mr. Martin, again the first hostile witness for the government's calling, and Warren Schlichting, who works for Sling TV, and presumably he would back up the government's case because remember, Sling puts together those skinny bundles, right? I think a subsidiary of Dish. He puts together those skinny bundles. He would say, like, okay, if we didn't have Turner content in those skinny bundles, well, that would put us at a major disadvantage. Thus, we have to pay up for that content, be it CNN or whatever, Turner Sports, whatever could be withheld by AT&T in the effort of raising the price of that. It's interesting, Liz. I said this on Friday. I'll say it again right now. If you read the trial briefs of the government, they go to great lengths to say how great and how must-see TV some of the content is from Time Warner, including CNN. It's the first time I've ever heard anybody in the Trump administration praise CNN or say how great it is, because, as you know, the president calls it fake news. CNN's always he's on the attack against them. They were part of that attack was going to be part of the case that maybe he wants to stop this merger because he doesn't want because he wants to stick it to CNN. But if you read the trial briefs, it's clear that the government considers, at least in this argument, CNN to be like some primo property that could be withheld by AT&T if they merged it and squeeze rival distributors to pay up. Personally, I can do without CNN. I don't know about you. I'll get through the day. I
like choice. Listen. If one network's on some prison show, you want to switch around and see what people have got. I will say this: Randall Stephenson, the CEO of AT&T, Charlie, has really come through with his word. He said, and it wasn't bluster.
Right.
I'm going to fight this. This is outrageous. I'm going to fight it, and I think that's impressive that it's gone to this point, at least when it comes to a CEO who says, hey, I don't think this is right. I'll take it to court. It's expensive, but I'll do it.
Yeah, I've read their trial briefs, too. What they're saying is this is a matter of survival. The real competition is coming from the Internet, from technology firms, from Google, from Facebook, from YouTube. There's plenty of content out there that they have to compete with. And in terms of distribution, people are cutting the cord. So they're not... You know, it's not like the cable firms or even, you know, what AT&T does. It has some fiber optics, but it also does DirecTV. It's not like it can bank on having two streams of income from distribution anymore, because people are cutting the cords. They're cutting one of those. So they need to do this to survive against massive amounts of content that's out there from Netflix and you name it.
Yeah.
Government is saying that content still is not as good as what Time
Charlie,
Warner has.
Can you see this? Dow is on track for its best day since 2015. We're up 661 points. And last week you wrapped it around a tree while I was gone.
What do you mean?
The markets were a mess.
You know, here's the thing. This is what the whole thing about Trumponomics. If he engages in a trade war, that will wipe out. The betting is that wipes out all the good things that his tax cuts and deregulation is going to do.
Today it looks like he's not.